take a motion to approve the agenda.
Move.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Need a motion to approve Board of Education meeting minutes for October 3rd, 2019.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Next, patron comments. We do not have patron comments, so we'll move along to superintendent and board comments. So we'll start out with our superintendent, Dr. Mark Miles.
Thank you, Mrs. Mundell. I have a few comments this evening. We'll begin with the Lafayette High School homecoming parade that rocked and rolled from Green Pines Elementary to the high school on Friday night. This year's theme was Rock of Ages, and groups from schools Lafayette, Rockwood Valley Middle, Babbler, Chesterfield, Ellisville, and Green Pines Elementary schools did their part by donning wigs and costumes accompanied by music from their floats. So we were certainly rocking and rolling. It was awesome to see all the smiling faces along the parade route and the Wildwood community spirit in full effect. And even better was to watch the Lancers football team polish off the night with a win over Parkway North in the homecoming game. So another great parade, Dr. Kinder.
We go back to the picture of the superintendent in the car. Do you have a seatbelt on?
It's called a leg strap. It held me in very securely. It was a very
I'm
safe
sure
vehicle.
you strapped your wife in, I'm sure.
Your lovely wife.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Rockwood was also recognized with the 2019-2020 Meritorious Budget Award for excellence in budget presentation by the Association of School Business Officials International. This is the 20th straight year that ASBO has awarded a Meritorious Budget Award to the district. ASBO International's Meritorious Budget Award and Pathway to the Meritorious Budget Award promote and recognize best budget presentation practices in school districts. Certainly cultivating an environment of efficient and effective business operations is an important part of our strategic plan, the way forward. Certainly want to commend Paul Northington and Dan Steinbrugge for your work, as well as the entire finance department for your work in making this award achievable. So congratulations. A round of applause. In other budget news, we've received a $5,000 rebate from Education Plus. I know the board's received updates from Mr. Paul Ziegler from Education Plus. That's the result of a surplus the organization achieved through good stewardship of their finances, which it is now passing along to member districts. We appreciate our collaboration with Education Plus. I've had several collaborative meetings with fellow superintendents there, and we look forward to continuing this benefit for its professional development, cooperative purchasing, and advocacy opportunities in the future. So we're certainly appreciative of Education Plus. In addition, the Missouri State Emergency Management Agency recently awarded a pre-disaster mitigation grant for the Wildwood Middle School Safe Room Project. This grant will provide more than $1.2 million in federal funds toward the construction of a tornado-safe room at Wildwood Middle. There were only 4 PDM grants issued to the state of Missouri for this funding cycle, and this was the only one awarded in the St. Louis region. The award will be dispersed in 2 phases. First in the design phase, then the second will cover the cost of construction. We intend to submit our design package within the next 2 months and put the project out to bid early next year. It's certainly an exciting development in a project that will keep our children and staff members safe for years to come. So we
Send that to FEMA for their approval?
I believe it was to FEMA, or was it through the state organization, Paul?
You'll send our plans to the state and they'll say yes or no or modify? Will they say yes or no or modify it?
But we've already received a yes for over $1.2 million.
They're gonna start, and when they gonna finish? Gonna be out there where the softball field is now? Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks.
Continuing, administrators will also be holding a school safety community update for district parents and staff members from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on November 6th. It'll be here at the Administrative Annex. We'll provide a brief safety update for the district, and Tier 1 tactical trainers will be here to provide a very brief overview and update of 4E training for parents and community members, so that they will have a better understanding of intruder alert training that we provide to our students. So we certainly hope that members of the Rockwood community will join us for this meeting on November 6th. Finally, tonight, a Rockwood High School school resource officer's straightforward and supportive video has captured the attention of students, parents, the community, and beyond. The video contains no narration or speech, as you'll see in just a moment. It is simply Jim McDonald, aka Officer Mac, showing a series of handwritten messages to the camera that encourages young people to persevere and reach out for help. After originally shooting his own version of the video with help from Rockwood student Jack Weaver and posting it to his YouTube channel, Officer McDonald reshot the video for the district. It has been viewed more than 75,000 times on our Facebook page, shared nearly 700 times, and garnered news coverage from KMOV and KSDK. So we're going to take a few minutes to check out this powerful video and a powerful message. Very powerful message about care, compassion, reaching out. As Dr. Harris inspires us to always ask the question, how are the children? This is one way in which we support our children. Our thanks and appreciation to all of our school resource officers throughout the district who keep us safe each and every day. That's all I have this evening.
I actually showed that to my Maryville students this week, my sophomores. Just really emphasize to them that, you're about to become teachers, and it's not just taking care of your students, it's about taking care of yourselves, too. Board comments?
Jim is actually, he is indeed a graduate of 1992 in that same high school. And his dad was actually on the Board of Education for about 6 years, Harold McDonald.
Who do we have at the press table tonight? Do you both like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Jackson Ostwanek. I'm the executive producer of MHS News and one of the main editors on The Messenger at Marquette High School.
Great.
Hi, I'm Delaney Stolz. I'm one of the co-editor-in-chiefs of the Lafayette Image News magazine.
Great, thank you. Welcome. Any other comments? Anyone? All right. Do you have something to say, Dr. Kinder? Next, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
Moved.
A motion and a second. Dr. Kinder?
Yes. We have 3 great donations again tonight. I think you can see them, but I'm going to read them anyhow. Team AM Personal Training LLC, monetary, $1,200 to help Rockwood South Middle School families in need. TS Personal Training Studio conducts yearly fundraisers to benefit the community and chose our RSMS Food Pantry as the recipient. Chris Pasiglia, you may recognize that name, Pasiglia Nursery, I think, donated $2,000 to help build a garden. Local nurseries donating supplies to help us build our garden here at Rockwood Valley Middle School. The next one, Stanton PTO, $32,665 to supplement various student and staff activities throughout the year. And it lists all the different things that they go for. This is like the 3rd or 4th donation from the PTOs that have been in the $30,000 range already this year, and it's just the beginning of the year. Those are really nice donations again.
Else? Discussion?
Can we also pass the microphone around to the visitors
Let's get
so they
through
can
this.
tell us who they are?
Let's get through this motion first.
Oh, okay.
So the motion is to approve the consent agenda items as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Go ahead, Alex.
Hello, my name's Bailey. I'm a student at STLCC, and I'm becoming an elementary school teacher.
Hi, I'm Lily Schleicher. I am the project coordinator for the DrugFree Coalition.
Hi, I'm Cindy Jones, and I'm a patron.
I'm John Keeney. One of our kids graduated from Eureka High School in 2013. I'm now a candidate for state rep in the 110th district.
I'm Katie Royce. I'm a teacher at Ridge Meadows Elementary.
My name's Rachel Meyer. I'm a graduate of Rockwood and now in school to teach PE and health.
Hello, my name is Jason Terry. I'm an attorney at Gilmore & Bell, and we're the district's bond counsel. And I'm going to take 5 seconds and say I attend a lot of Board of Education meetings. It's all over the county, the state. And I love that you call out the sponsors or the contributions like you just did. As a matter of fact, I was here maybe last year, and I went to my school district, which is in the county, and I won't say its name, and I said, this is a great idea, because last year someone had paid off some outstanding lunch debts. Mm-hmm. And I approached my school district and said, do we have that? Is that something that's a big issue in our district? And they said, well, actually we do. We have some students who can't pay their lunch debts. And so I talked to some friends about that. And at any rate, I don't see it anywhere else. I think it's fantastic.
Dr. Kinder.
Glad Parkway found the way. Oh, it wasn't Parkway? Okay.
Hi, I'm Brian Coop. I'm a data analyst here in Rockwood, and I also sit on the exec board for NEA.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr.
Appreciate
Kinder.
everybody here tonight.
Yes. All right. Next, I need a motion to approve the proclamation designating October 21st to 25th, 2019 as Red Ribbon Week in the Rockwood School District.
Move.
Motion is second. Lily Schleiser is coming forward. And who's reading the proclamation? Who did I give that to? Dr. Kinder's going to read the proclamation.
That first.
Yes.
Whereas Rockwood School District values the health and safety of all our students and citizens, and whereas substance abuse is particularly damaging to one of our most valuable resources, our children, and a contributing factor in the 3 leading causes of death for teenagers: accidents, homicides, and suicides. And whereas it is the goal of Red Ribbon Week and Rockwood School District to involve families, schools, businesses, churches, law enforcement agencies, and service organizations in all aspects of this campaign, and establish an atmosphere that supports awareness, education, and ongoing initiatives to prevent illegal drug use. Whereas the Red Ribbon Week campaign theme promotes family and individual responsibilities for living healthy, drug-free lifestyles without illegal drugs or the illegal use of legal drugs. And whereas National Red Ribbon Week will be celebrated October 21st through 25th across the country. And now, therefore, be it resolved that Rockwood School District does hereby proclaim October 21st through 25th, 2019 as Red Ribbon Week within the district, as well as district support in demonstrating unity around healthy, drug-free lifestyles. Laura Lee Mondo, President, Rockwood School District Board of Education, signed his 17th day of October 2019.
Dr. Kinder, welcome.
Thank you for all of your support for Red Ribbon Week and for getting this proclamation out, because it is such an important time to highlight what we're doing all year long, but really do a focused effort on bringing prevention education to students. And there are so many exciting activities planned across the district. We're really proud to support. We've been able to supply resources and ideas to many different schools this year, so it's been good.
I don't know if everybody gets the emails of things they're doing, but they're tremendous things that we need and are really helping the district, and thank you very much.
Right, so the motion is to approve the proclamation designated October 21st to 25th, 2019 as Red Ribbon Week in the Rockwood School District. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you, and I think you're staying right there, aren't you? Because now I need a motion to approve the proclamation designating October 21st to 25th, 2019 as the 10th annual observance of the Rockwood School District Drug-Free Coalition Week.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. And who's reading? Yep. Director Romberg.
Proclamation for Rockwood Drug-Free Coalition. Rockwood Drug-Free Coalition provides leadership, education, and resources to prevent and address substance abuse among youth. Collaboration between the coalition, Rockwood School District, and many community partners ensure success with community prevention programs, protecting Rockwood students so that they can thrive. Whereas by equipping youth to make healthy choices for their futures, and whereas by providing parents with information and support to guide their children in decision making and enhancing their lives, and whereas by collaborating with community leaders to foster prevention efforts with a common goal of helping our young people remain drug and alcohol free, and whereas October is National Substance Abuse Prevention Month, now therefore we, the Rockwood School District Board of Education, do hereby proclaim October 21st through the 25th, 2019, the 10th annual observance of Rockwood Drug-Free Coalition Week.
Questions or discussion? you an opportunity to speak. Sorry.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. It's really exciting to have this proclamation because the work that we're doing is so important. There's a lot of good work in the area of prevention being done across the district. And we continue to see areas where we can do better. And to shine a light on the coalition and have this focus is really, really helpful in us achieving our goals. So thank you for that very much.
We appreciate everything you do.
Work.
I did want to take just the opportunity quickly to invite you all. We will be holding a medical marijuana in for education night on Tuesday, November 12th. It would be great if you could all be there. It'll be at Lafayette High School at 7 p.m. That information is on our website. Yeah.
The motion is to approve the proclamation designating October 21 to 25th as the 10th annual observance of the Rockwood School District Drug-Free Coalition Week. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you. All right, next we need a motion to approve the proclamation designating the month of October 2019 as Anti-Bullying Month in the Rockwood School District.
Move. Second.
Motion and a second. So Dr. Terry Harris has come forward, and Director Bays, who happens to be wearing her T-shirt, it's pretty good, is going to read the proclamation.
Anti-Bullying Proclamation. Whereas bullying is physical, verbal, sexual, or emotional harm or intimidation intentionally directed at a person or group of people, and whereas bullying occurs in neighborhoods, playgrounds, schools, and through technology such as the internet and cell phones, and whereas various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence affecting millions of American children and adolescents annually, and whereas thousands of children and adolescents are affected by bullying annually, and whereas targets of bullying are more likely to acquire physical, emotional, and learning problems, and students who are repeatedly bullied often fear such activities as riding the bus, going to school, and attending community activities. And whereas children who bully are at greater risk of engaging in more serious violent behaviors, and whereas children who witness bullying often feel less secure, more fearful, and intimidated. Now therefore be it resolved, we, the Rockwood School District Board of Education, do hereby proclaim the month of October as National Bullying Prevention Month. Signed the 17th day of October, 2019.
Harris.
Thank you. So thank you for those who were able to attend this year. The picture that you see on the screen is from this past training that we had a month ago. Last year we trained 60 middle school students. This year we trained 90 middle school students. So I received all these emails from our middle schools asking if they could, we asked that they select 10 leaders. And then 2 days later, they were asking if they can have 12, and then 12 went to 15. And one school asked if they can take 40 kids, and we had to say no. But that's really exciting because so many students are wanting to participate. And there's so many things that we think about middle school students. But if you guys get an opportunity to participate in the trainings that these young middle school students will go and train their elementary folks, I promise you it will be the best hour and a half of the week. These young people take the presentation that we've created and they make it their own presentation because young people are smarter than adults in terms of knowing what's happening to young people. And so the whole purpose of the training is to give them the tools and then take a step back and allow these young people to lead, and they do just that. So just quickly, we train the students on 3 aspects of bullying in this RSD model that we created in the Rockwood School District. So the R is to recognize bullying, S is to give them tools to stop bullying, and D is to be able to describe bullying. So when we see these things, we want the students to be able to describe it to the leadership. And they're absolutely amazing. They're absolutely beautiful. These young people are students who probably have never encountered bullying. Some probably have been bullies at one point. So they understand it at a deep emotional level that is very authentic and absolutely beautiful. So Dave Cobb and I met with Lisa Counts and the middle school principals today that we're going to start to create our spreadsheet, and we'll have dates for whenever the students are going to go out and train at the elementary level. So we'll be sure to share that with Janet, and your support will be absolutely welcomed and appreciated. Jamie, Lynn, you want to share anything from all the wonderful learning that you learned from the kids?
It was an incredible day. I was there and just sat back and watched those kids interact with each other, whether they were interacting within their school or spreading out. And I think kudos to you all too needs to be recognized for opening that up, not just to our Rockwood schools, but some other schools. So we're, sharing our knowledge and spreading that out, to as many places as you can fit in the space, which is a very cool space.
I'm glad you said that. So one quick thing, we're going to take from that group, we're going to take a group of kids, and those students next semester are going to train middle schools throughout the St. Louis region. So schools districts will be able to sign up, and these students will lead the whole 2.5-hour training. So thanks for saying that.
I would add to that just the level of engagement of the students. They were doing what you were asking them to do. They were talking to their group. They were really into it, and the way they shared to the whole group, it was extremely well planned and executed, and the kids responded very well to it. It was a great opportunity for the kids to participate. Thank you for your work that you put into that.
Mr. Harris, is this a program you developed?
Yes.
Did all 6 middle schools participate?
Second year in a row, all 6 middle schools. And this is one of those programs where the middle school principals were emailing myself and probably Dr. Counts in July trying to figure out when the dates were going to be set. It's that popular of a program.
You said it's only limited to 40 because of space, is that right?
No. It's just really hard to have 200 middle school kids in a space. But we did open it up. Last year was 10. This year we have probably averaged 15 per school. And I suspect that every year is going to grow.
This is a one-time shot this year, or are you going to continue to do it?
No, so that's a great question. So this year we're also going to have a training in the spring with these kids. So we'll have a training where county-wide, where region-wide, we'll invite middle school students, but then we'll have a second training specifically for our Rockwood folks.
Are you getting into the elementary school this year or next year?
This year. So last year when we trained the 60 students, they immediately went to the elementary schools to train the elementary 4th and 5th graders to create their own elementary anti-bullying ambassadors. So we will do the same thing this year.
You take just a minute, and after you train them, how do they go out and do things? What do they do when they go out and present?
Yeah. So we have a PowerPoint presentation that we can share with you guys. You can take a look at that. So they take our PowerPoint that we've created, and it's pretty much the same format, but they may add a slide here and there. And they take all the activities that we did with the students, and they do those same activities with the younger students. So they basically copy our the format that they went through.
Really glad you're sharing it with other districts too. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, thank you.
So, more thing, the location. How did you come up with that location, which I thought was great for the kids to get there? It was at the Cortex, right?
Cortex, yes. So Renee, Trotier, Shelly, Lisa, Dave, they always laugh at me because I'm always asking for things. And this is one of those things where I just called the person and said, hey, I have this wonderful program, and we're going to have close to 100 kids. And basically they gave us the space and didn't charge us anything. And the event that we're going to have next spring, they're going to sponsor the event. So they were give us a space as well as pay for food. So I think they were just excited to have kids in the space.
Yeah, it's great. Good.
You outgrew the Wildwood Community College.
Well, Wildwood Community College had yoga going on that day, and they didn't want to give us that.
You could have had all of those kids in that room anyway.
Yes.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. So it's really good. We have shirts for you. I didn't get a chance to bring them because Regina was out, but I make sure that we get the shirts to Janet just like last time. And thank you guys so much for your support. This is not possible without having an amazing, supportive, student-centered board of education. So thank you.
Do you plan to take this into the rural communities too? I mean, you're confined now to St. Louis County and City, I'm assuming. You gonna take it to the rural areas too, maybe?
We would take this as far as whatever connections you have. So we have I have connections in the St. Louis County region. If you have some connections in the rural, I'm sure that these students will be excited to present. That's the one thing that I share with the middle school principals. When we give this training, these kids are ready to go the very next day. And so to see that level of excitement is really, really cool. And so we want to make sure that we're giving the students the opportunities to present. So if there's an opportunity, with all seriousness, if there's an opportunity to present, we'll definitely do that. Last year, Paul had all the business finance folks in Rockwood for their last meeting. And he was so kind to allow our Crestview students to do a training with some of the finance folks, and it went over very well.
Great, thank you.
These kids went right back and started doing presentations within their own school buildings about what they learned, right?
Yes.
I've seen a few of those. Yeah.
Yes. So they do presentations in their own schools first, and then they go out to the elementary, their feeder pattern schools, to do a presentation. And we'll make sure you guys have those dates and shirts.
I'm sorry. Do you have any way of gauging the success of it? I mean, evaluating decrease in bullying, et cetera?
So what's really interesting is this came from last year. We were looking at some things, and I think that we talked about the only way that we were measuring results at the end of last year was basically the number of tip line calls we were getting. So prior to, we probably received tons of tips around kids being bullied. We still receive a few, but not compared to the numbers we received prior to this program being in place.
Good.
Because the reality is all these kids want to make sure that all kids are connected, loved, and supported. Middle school kids completely understand what it feels like to be not a part of a group and not accepted. And so they don't want that to be the case for anyone. We have some very empathetic, wonderful, compassionate kids. And I think if you look at the news, we hear a lot about bullying, and we don't hear a lot about the programs and the young people who are trying to curb that. And so it's just amazing to be able to speak about these wonderful 12, 13-year-olds.
Thank you.
Emphasis is on prevention and anti-bullying, not just bullying.
Right.
I mean, that's the power of it.
Right. About connection.
Right.
Connection.
Very good.
Hey, you're doing good work.
Thank you.
Good job.
You guys.
Not that everybody else isn't, but you're up here, so I'm just going to tell you that. So the motion was to approve the proclamation designating the month of October 2019 as Anti-Bullying Month in the Rockwood School District. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. All right, next, I need a motion to approve the resolution adopting the St. Louis Regional All-Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Move.
We have a motion and a second. Paul Northington, you can explain this to us?
Yes, I will.
Excellent.
This is also part of a FEMA grant to where they've awarded East West Gateway to draft a 5-year plan. The current plan expired in 2020, so this is the development and preparation of the 2020 to 25 plan. East West Gateway and brought in school districts and other folks to help develop the plan. We attended a couple of meetings as well. This is required by federal statutes, and it really the purpose is to protect public safety, prevent loss of life, reduce exposure to current and future potential mitigation items, and it covered the counties of Franklin, Jefferson, St. Louis, St. Charles, and the city of St. Louis. We're required to be part of the plan if we want to be eligible for future federal grants, including the grant that we just received. The fact that we were part of the existing plan allowed us to apply for that grant. So in the event that there would be any future pre-mitigation or post-mitigation requests, we would have to be part of adopting this resolution. So that's the purpose of that this evening.
Can you give us some examples, Paul, of what you're talking about? Natural hazards?
So basically they're addressing public response to any various situations that may happen regarding earthquakes, tornadoes, things of that. And what's the response? How is it handled throughout these different communities? So it's a pretty lengthy plan that's been put together.
Well, the flooding that's happened, that would be a situation that they would be involved in, or we would be involved in the flooding in the Eureka area and up on LaSalle, by LaSalle?
I think it involves where if it's a statewide disaster to where you're working with state folks in mitigation efforts, whatever they may be. So it addresses it at any different level in regards to various factors that may come across at the state level. So it's really your first responders working together. It's a plan to how you address those mitigation efforts, how's it communicated, the efforts that go along to not only prevent them, but if an event does occur, how do you address it?
So if we had a spill in a science lab of an acid and you had to call first responders, that would be covered under it too?
I think this is more, it's probably a little bit larger scale
Larger
than
scale?
that. Yeah.
Okay,
But
thanks.
naturally, if we had something to that effect, we
Right.
would work with the proper authorities to address that. But this is really more of a large-scale natural disaster or something of that magnitude.
Thanks.
Questions? Comments? All right, so the motion is to approve the resolution adopting the St. Louis Regional All Hazard Mitigation Plan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you. I
Thank you.
guess you're staying here for the next one. Next, we need a motion to approve resolution authorizing the offering for sale of general obligation bonds of the Rockwood R6 School District.
Yep.
A motion and a second. So I see Dan Steinberg has joined us as well.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So this is the second issuance from the 2017 bond issue that the voters approved, the $95.5 million. If you recall, in March of 2018, the board authorized issuance of $62.8 million, and this is the second rendering of that, to where we have $32.7 million left to authorize, but we're only asking for $31.1 million to be authorized with this $95.5 million bond issue that was approved in 17. The reason we're only asking for 31.1 is we anticipate receiving some premiums when these bonds are bid, in that they pay more than the par amount. Number one, and number two, our projects up to this point have come in at or below our budget projections, so we don't need those additional funds. So that $1.6 million we're going to leave set aside. We can use it for future use if we need to, or if we see that we don't need it, then we've saved taxpayers the issuance of that $1.6 million. Tonight we asked for authority to issue these bonds. We've worked closely with Jason Terry, who's here tonight, with Gilmore and Bell. He's put all these documents together and worked closely with Dan Steinberg. There's a lot of legal and tax implications in putting these together, and they've been very instrumental in making sure that we dot all our I's and cross our T's. After we receive permission to proceed, we will then do a electronic bid process. Those bids will be due November 7th, and we'll come to the board that evening with a recommendation for a low bid to go ahead and issue this $31.1 million. And the transaction itself will probably close a couple of weeks after that. So mid-November we'll have the funds to continue our projects, and this is primarily going to fund the completion of Eureka High School STEM. There are two phases at Marquette, and then the Wildwood Middle School.
You say Eureka High School gym?
No, the Eureka High School STEM,
Oh,
STEM
STEM.
lab. Yeah, the STEM edition that we're doing right now.
Okay. Tell us again, or me again, why you didn't bid it all at once, if you broke it into two bids?
Well, we really don't need all the funds at once because if you'll recall, this spans over several years. So there's not a need to issue all that at one time. So the longer we wait, the less interest costs we have, number one. So this came in the second phase, really fits in well with the second half of our projects.
You said several things came in under bid, so that means there'll be money left over from that bond issue to get what it was originally for. What do you do with that?
Well, if we never issue it, then it just becomes a non-event, and we didn't incur those borrowing cost and interest costs that are associated with it. If we do need it at some point, we can issue it. We could go 5 years down the road, and they're still available to us.
Or is there a time limit on how far down you can go?
I don't believe so. No.
So you say right now, we're probably under by 1.6 million?
1.6 is what we're not going to.
That was on the 62 million. Or that's on the
that
total?
1.6 is of the total 95.5 million that was authorized in 2017. The 62.8 was what we issued back in March of 18.
But if the bids come in lower on this last part, it'll be that 1.6 million will jump up some. Is that right? Or you projected that in there already?
We're projecting that. We're expecting to get some premium on the bonds, and why we don't think we need the 1.6.
Good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Questions, Doctor?
Is the interest rate lower now?
They are. So when we issued the bonds in 18, the average interest rate on those bonds were just under 3%. And I think when we put these out for sale now, we'll probably see them about 2%. So rates have come down quite a bit. And this bond structure is a 10-year, has a 10-year maturity, which is shorter than typical. A lot of times you'll see these issues over a 20-year term. We're going to pay these bonds off within a 10-year time frame.
Have we paid off the other ones yet, 62 million?
No, they're still
You're still
out
shooting
there.
for?
Yes, sir.
You're still shooting for 2024, 25 to have everything done?
As far as the debt service transition plan, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, it's getting everything paid off so we don't, instead of doing a bond
We're
issue.
still looking at implementing that plan in that time frame. Yes, we think we can move it up a couple of years. Anything I left out, Dan? Okay.
And you have anything to say? Dan?
I do not know.
Okay.
I'll say this, I've done all the talking, but Dan's done all the work behind the scenes. So Dan and Jason has worked closely together for several months now, putting this together to make sure that we have a seamless issuance. And also I need to mention Todd Goffey with Piper Jaffrey, who's our financial advisor. All three parties have worked very hard to put together a nice package.
Jason going to go back to his district and tell him how good Rockwood has done? Okay, good. Thanks, Jason.
Be good? Okay. Motion to approve resolution authorizing the offering for sale of general obligation bonds of the Rockwood R6 School District. That was the motion. So all those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Both of you. All three of you. All right, next, I need a motion to approve the bond issue purchases and related contracts, $7,500 to $150,000 as submitted.
Moved.
Motion is second. Deb Kettering, it looks like we have one.
Just one. So this purchase is just to buy some adapters so that laptops that we purchased this year, which are much newer than some of our other equipment in the classrooms, can connect to that older equipment. It'll allow projecting.
Is it better to do it that way instead of getting a newer device?
Well, it's cheaper when the
That's what I mean.
projectors have a long, still have life in them. So that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Else? All right, the motion is to approve the bond issue purchases and related contracts. Those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you. All right, next I need a motion to approve the Board of Education meeting calendar for August through December 2020 and January through July 2021.
Go move.
Motion is second. I have here Dr. Miles and his Janet.
Organizer extraordinaire. We've reviewed the potential dates. Of course, the schedule maintains one meeting in January, one meeting in July, and Janet has organized an every other week schedule, which keeps us on track throughout the school year with hiring personnel and paying bills as is required. Janet?
Any questions?
Questions or comments?
I have a couple comments.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to point out in September on 2020 that the tax rate hearing will be a separate meeting because of the way the dates fall. If we pushed that 17th meeting down to the 24th, it's not late enough in the month, so we're just going to put it on that Tuesday for a quick meeting. And that's why it pushed October to the second and fourth weeks instead of the first and the third, so that they're not backed up on top of each other. And with the way the Thursdays fall, it makes more sense that way. I also wanted to point out all the rest of them are first and third except for April, which is also because the holiday weekend or the off days and professional development days, we pushed that to the second and fourth week because the 6th is on election day. And so it made more sense to do the 8th and the 22nd and still made it every other week, backing up onto spring break, which this year we're going to try to get those 2 March dates in instead of just one, because that's kind of a struggle. And then the only thing that really changed from the original calendar is June, because of the end of the school year in 2021. So the dates again are the second and fourth weeks of June, because graduation is most likely going to fall, and the last day of school in June, that will be the 3rd.
Did you say graduation is going to fall at third week?
Graduation's going to be in the first week of June, because the
Oh,
kids
first
are going
week
to
of
be
June.
going until June 3rd that year, that summer. Not this summer coming up, it's the following year when the new calendar is going to be in motion.
What's the third and fourth represent that month?
That is, the 3rd is the last day of school for all students, and the 4th is a teacher work day, like records day for the district.
Graduation be the
second through the fifth.
Those are possible dates. I don't know if anybody's really,
the dates.
I don't think we know for sure.
Won't back it up to the 31st. That's a holiday weekend.
Right.
Okay.
So those are to be determined yet, but the last day of school is the 3rd, and the 4th is teacher records day. So
Did I see right on the calendar that we have a graduation on Saturday this year?
not this year, 2021.
21.
That's what this is
So it'll be the 5th?
21.
No.
Second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those little stars.
Wow.
Okay.
I just have one question. That April 8th meeting, we've, over the last few years, tried to not have the week of the election just because it's such a quick turnaround to do everything for new board member or members. So just something for consideration. I know that that was tight because of those days off being there that aren't normally there. So the last few years, we've pushed that meeting to the following week just to give the person or persons a little more time to acclimate, but just throwing that out there. I'm sure you've covered all.
I think there was some other reasons why we kept pushing that off too, because of the way it fell on other schedules. So I think if we push it or get rid of it, April's just really hard to only have like one meeting with HR and finance. So, I mean, we can turn it around pretty quick if we need to get it in there. But if we get rid of it completely, or if we push it to the 15th and the 29th, then we're going to have the 29th and the 6th back to back. So we can talk about that though when it gets closer to that
To
time.
make adjustments to the calendar as we go
Absolutely,
forward, right?
yeah.
See, what's it take for us to adjust that if we decide?
Night or future?
No, not in the future.
I just put a board line item. We've done that before. We just put it in there to like relook at a date and then
Gotcha.
adjust.
Okay.
And we, of course, would then communicate that to the community, so if those that want to attend, they can certainly do so.
How far in advance you have to communicate that to the community that you've changed something?
Earlier the better, but you know, as long as it's like a meeting before, that's usually enough.
Okay.
All right, anything else about 2021? All right, the motion is to approve the Board of Education meeting calendar for August through December 2020 and January through July 2021. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Good job, Dr. Miles and Janet. All right, proposed agenda for October 30th, 2019, Board of Education work session. So this is the second part of our board retreat or work session, and it starts at what time? 11:30, and it ends at When we're, what?
No later than 4, says.
I don't know if I like that answer.
Where's that at?
Here.
Oh, okay.
In a,
What time does it
in a
seriously
different
end?
conference
Oh,
room.
4 o'clock.
4 is.
Okay. Are we having lunch?
Yes.
Okay, anything else on that?
Don't forget Jamie's birthday's the day before.
That's right.
And
She can bring the cake.
Dr. Kinders is that day.
Okay,
And Dr.
then.
Kinders is when?
A day.
Right after his hair.
And then the proposed agenda for the November 7th, 2019 Board of Education meeting. Pull that one up, please. Did we even have September?
We did.
Okay. That was weird, because all of a sudden we're talking about November. Any questions on that?
We need to put it in there to have the audience members tell us who they are. Can we just do that?
We can do it every time. That's fine.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like, I mean, I saw those 2 students. So I want to make sure they were recognized. I apologize. I didn't think about the rest of you, so thank you. All right. Future agenda presentations and events to attend. St. Louis School Boards PLC, Saturday, November 9th, 2019 at North Kirkwood Middle School. I believe we already got a
Sent out.
invitation for that. Yes.
Does that count as the training time?
No,
That's just a meeting.
just a PLC for school boards. in the
Sponsored by
region.
SLPS, isn't it?
It's jointly sponsored by all the boards.
They did it
School
last
boards.
year too, the first.
Who's
year.
going? What day is it?
It's a Saturday.
Okay. No, I was just asking.
Is he on Saturdays?
9:30, 9 to 12? Okay.
Great time to communicate and network with other boards and just to have some honest discussions about what's happening.
And we haven't received anything this year yet about our quadrant or our district meetings yet, have we? Could we get those?
The training?
No, just for getting together like a nighttime from 6 to 9. All the ones in our area and our,
Oh, you're talking about like through MSBA?
no.
The region
The
meetings
region,
or whatever?
regional meetings.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you received
No, I
anything?
haven't seen anything. Are we talking
Haven't seen
MSBA
anything.
or Ed
Okay.
Plus?
So what?
Are we talking about MSBA or Ed Plus?
No, it's sponsored by the regions. Last year, the president was from Bowling Green or somewhere up there like that.
I'll check into it. I haven't seen anything. And there's a calendar on everybody, in front of everybody too, that has the upcoming stuff, and there's gonna be a bunch of more
Meetings once or
Veterans
twice
Day.
a semester.
Veterans Day,
Mhm.
things like that. Okay, anything else? All right, let's adjourn the meeting.